The Roz and Mocha Show. KiSS 92.5.
Happy Hunger Games! And may the odds be ever in your favor. Happy Hunger Games, everyone! Happy Hunger Games from KiSS 92.5. And may the odds be ever in your favor. Happy Hunger Games. Happy Hunger Games, everyone!
Jena Malone, how are you?
How are you?
Awesome. I absolutely loved the movie. Congratulations.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, so is there anybody in your family that was like a huge Hunger Games fan, and how did they react when you got the role?
My little sister read the books before the first film came out. She told me to read them, and then I didn't. And then I saw the film, and I was like, whoa, you were right. This is amazing. Still didn't read them. And then I read them before the audition, and I was like, oh, you are really onto something. Like, this was so amazing. But the funny thing is that after I got the character, or the part, I called her up, and I was like, I did it. Like, I'm working on it. It's so amazing. And she's like, but you don't really look like Joanna Mason. I was like,
Snap.
I want to, like, eat her alive. I was like, really? No, I mean, she just likes to, take the piss out of me, so.
That's awesome. Now, was there anything surprising? Did anything surprise you when you got on set or being on set of the Hunger Games and working with this cast that's already been existing?
Surprising, or the most beautiful and the most refreshing, was getting to see a dynamic between Josh and Jen up close and personal, and just how they all kept us in, tears and laughter the entire time. I mean, their rapport is such an interesting chemical equation that it's impossible not to be swept off your feet by it. So,
How'd they keep you laughing?
I mean, have you ever met them or seen an interview with them? Are you kidding me? Like, it's that 24 hours a day. It's amazing.
Now, last question for you. How cool is it, or were you a little nervous getting involved in something that already has such a huge following?
It's a little intimidating, but I feel like once you get over that, it opens a door of like, wow, there's such a beautiful fan base. So many people are going to see this. It makes you want to work even harder. So I found it kind of inspiring.
Sam, dude, how are you?
I don't know what's going on. This is
I have that reaction always with people.
This is great. Do you just walk around the street like this?
No, can you imagine if I did that?
You should do. It's awesome.
Now, I have to ask you this. It seems as though your strategy in this, your character anyway, was being sexually manipulative. Is that how you are in real life? Or did you find that with your character?
Am I sexually manipulative? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, because you won me over.
I would say yes. Yeah, I'll go with it. Yeah, totally, 100%.
Now, what happened between you, your weapon, and Jennifer Lawrence's ass?
Oh, that's too much information. It's a very funny story. We were fighting the imaginary monkeys, so basically bushes in the Hawaiian jungle, and we were in this big swamp. And halfway through one of the fight sequences, Jen just let out a God Almighty scream, and everyone sort of stopped and was like, "What's happened? What's happened?" She was like, "Something's just bit me. Something bit me. I swear, something bit me." No one believed her, obviously. She's she's over dramatic about most things. Anyway, but like we kind of scoured, like couldn't work out what it was. She kind of got out and like unzipped her wetsuit, and as I was walking out of the water, I realized that the end of my trident had fallen off, and it obviously hit her. But I didn't want to admit to it until, as I was fixing it back on, I walked into the tent where she was, and there was the perfect imprint, circular imprint on her ass. But as I was forcing it on, she was like, "It was you." Yeah.
Now, okay, outside of you doing that to her, has any of the cast ever played pranks on you, the existing cast? Has anything ever happened to you prank-wise?
Josh Hutcherson will never... Well, I'm going to get him back, is what I'm trying to say. Basically, he I don't even know what it was exactly that he used, but he went into my trailer, went to the toilet, when I wasn't in there, obviously, got loads of my toilet paper, put this, like, skunk poo... I don't know what it was. It's like this poo in a can, but basically put it stunk and put it on the toilet paper and put it in the bin, and then just let it fester for like an hour or two. And I just remember walking into my trailer, going, "Oh my God, who has been to the loo? Like who has gone for a number 2 in my trailer? Like why would they do that?" Eventually, he confessed. So Yeah.
All right, last question for you. How cool was it to get involved, or were you a little nervous to get involved in like an already existing movement?
I mean, yeah, it was hugely intimidating. Hugely intimidating. There was a very well-established and well-oiled machine, you know, before I kind of entered into it, and I didn't want to be a problem. You know, so I try to kind of immediately sort of fit in with whatever they were doing. But actually, no, I found out that, you know, they're very open and welcoming and inviting, and they allowed me to be me. And immediately, I organically kind of sort of settled into the family quite nicely. So yeah.
I was thinking one more question. What would your, if this was real life, if Hunger Games was real life, what would your strategy be? What would your thing be in real life? Mine would be cutting onions into people's faces.
Good one. Do you know what? That's awesome. I think I'd be a runner. I'd just run, or I'd talk my way out of most situations. I'm one of those guys that can. I never really got involved in fights at school, but I was one of the kids that used to break the fights up. So I think I'd be really, really useful in that sense in the arena.
Congratulations, amazing movie, and so much fun talking to you.
You too, man. Lovely to meet you.
The Roz and Mocha Show. KiSS 92.5.